What does the ETF landscape look like? Hi, I'm Scott Hamilton, Certified Financial Planner. We are fee-only and fiduciaries. We have offices in Austin and Houston, and we help people plan for retirement. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about this slide deck, and Dimensional and us put it together, and it's we're going to talk about what an ETF is, and then what an active ETF is, and then the growth of ETFs in general and the growth of active ETFs. All right, so first off, maybe 40 or 50 years ago, mutual funds became really kind of popular, and they captured the imagination of the investment public, especially with the advent of defined contribution plans instead of the defined benefit, from pensions to 401ks. So everybody was putting their money into mutual funds through their 401ks. Saw a lot of that, huge growth. And then a decade or two ago, exchange-traded funds started coming on the market, and they have really grown fast. They trade like a stock. They typically have no trading fees, like if you clear through Fidelity or Schwab, whereas if you buy a mutual fund or a stock, there can sometimes be a commission there. ETFs trade free. Not only that, they're a little bit more tax efficient than a mutual fund. So the container of a wrapper, if you will, between a mutual fund and an ETF, the ETF's a superior container, even though they might have exactly the same contents in it. So let's talk a little bit about what an active ETF is. So if you notice the chart, it says investors are turning to active ETFs. On the left, it's got AUM, and it goes up from 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 trillion. And then over here is years from 2008 to 2025. Notice in 2019, there's the ETF rule. Right here is when the SEC allowed active ETFs. So let's picture this. Picture Vanguard, famously known for index. So they created a mutual fund that ties to an index. And then Fidelity did the same thing, and then Dimensional funds, they applied, they're the leader of this active ETF. What they wanted to do is allow their business model, which was they were all mutual funds prior, and then they converted to ETFs, not converted, but they added ETFs. And those ETFs allow for active management of the ETF. So it's not quite an index. See, the gray is the index here, and the active ETFs are growing. They're growing rapidly. The dollar flow is this green bar. So the dollar amount coming into active ETFs is giant, right? But there's 1.5 trillion in AUM for active ETFs, 11% total market penetration, 49% growth rate. So the point of this slide is to say that active ETFs, which is a flavor of ETFs, is growing rapidly. It's what Dimensional uses and a few other firms, well, a lot of other firms now. And it's a great way to participate in the investment world. All right, we'll look at one other slide. It's right here. This is an increasing number of ETFs vie for investor attention. So just look at the investor growth, the ETF growth in between 1,500 and up to 5,000 ETF firms in between 2011 and 2025. Just a rapid growth of just the sheer number of ETFs. And then if you want to look over here, this is ETF launches and closes. So 2011, look at all the green is launches, the gray is the closures. So last year, there was over 1,000 ETFs launched. It's crazy, there's so many. And I should say that they're concentrated. The top 5 have probably 80% market share, so it's very highly concentrated. I could show you another deck about that. But so the key point here is mutual funds versus ETFs. ETFs have a flavor for active or index. Active is growing rapidly, and the overall impact of this is more choice for the consumers, lower cost, easier investing, but you have more choices, and you end up in analysis paralysis, so you need to be careful with that. Work with an advisor. We can create a simple but elegant solution. Click on the website below, Hamilton Financial Planning. Schedule us a Get Acquainted meeting. I'd love to sit down and chat with you about active ETFs or your mutual funds or your retirement strategy, or I can send you this deck. Let me know. Love to help. Thank you.